still talking about how to become a powerful personal brand. Let me get my cameras adjusted here 1 minute, real quick. All right. So we've been on this train. This is the third day, and we found out some things about ourselves we had not thought to think about before. I want us to go from wondering who we are, wondering why opportunities come or do not, wondering how some people seem to always be on the winning streak, and while the rest of us are like chancing it here, to being very, very clear about what you are as a brand, because everybody is a brand them that have an image, an impression of them, to being clear about the brand that you want to take out. So, hey, Irene, hello, hello, right back. Hey, Beyond Canon, hello. I'm going to get off screen for a second as I get, I've got my notes and I'm back. So, I want us today to learn how to position a personal brand, because as you have seen on the quote that I have, is that you need to be very clear about what your brand is, who you're speaking to, whether you have presence, whether what you're sharing is relevant and adds value. Some people are like, what's the difference between being relevant and adding value? This is it. So being present, you guys can see, right? It's being visible. It's being consistently visible, consistently accessible. So I know who you are. I know where to find you. I know how to engage with your product. That's presence, right? Second thing is relevant. What's the difference between relevant and value adding? Relevant is that you actually understand who you're speaking to. You understand what their challenges are. You understand how they think, how they make their decisions. You have profiled them in their demographics, their age, their gender. I love something one of my clients did. She sent us a brief today about who she's engaging with, and she went down to the point of giving her ideal client a name. So she has a first and surname, she has a gender, she has a profession, she has what they do and what kind of challenges they're facing and why her business is relevant. This is something that I propose to you as well. Your relevance is whether you understand your target audience. I will be drumming about your target audience till this sinks in. And you understand what their problem is. Like literally, nobody will listen to you unless you're helping them survive because they're in trouble or thrive because they want to get to the next level. You say nothing about how to guide them to survive or thrive, they have nothing to listen to you. So whether you understand the times you're in, who you're speaking to, what moves them, how they spend their money, when they're looking for solution in this area, how they usually like to get their solution, et cetera, et cetera. And then your value add is not just that you're relevant, you understand them, but what you're saying actually gets them from one point to the other. Because you could be a very knowledgeable person, but people don't see you as, as a brand to go to for solutions. You could be a very knowledgeable person, but they don't see you as relevant to the position you're applying for a job for. You could be a person who's relevant, who understands, their area, but just cannot communicate it well enough for people to want to engage with them. So that is the difference. Do you actually add value? When you show up, do people know that I am going to get my solutions? So this person isn't a seat warmer. This person comes in, they're not just thinking about this little thing that they have to do. They've got this entire industry mapped out. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. Listen, we went from identifying our personal brand, right? This was what we did on Monday. Like you could be watching this whenever. When is Monday? The first video, right? In this series, Becoming a Powerful Personal Brand. We went from identifying your personal brand, what personal branding is, what is personal branding, people? It is your intentional, ongoing process to create a specific image of yourself in the minds of others. And we said, we don't have an others. We don't just have people. There is a specific target audience that you're speaking to. There is a specific tribe that you're speaking to. Not everybody is your people. I said this yesterday. So if you say, hey, who do men say that I am? and they're coming up with all kinds of things that are not relevant to who you are, but you ask your specific target audience who they think you are, what they think your personal brand is, what they think you're about, what they think your relevance and your value add is, and they get it right, you are winning. If they don't understand who you are, they can't see you, they can't access you, you don't seem relevant to their needs and their times and the trends at the moment, and you certainly are not adding value, then you're in trouble because they're definitely your people. You're just not speaking to them. So we went from identifying your personal brand to yesterday learning how to build it. Today, I want you to know how to position your personal brand. So, hey, just in case you don't know who I am Modesta Mahiga Mbuguni, your, what did I say? Executive leadership coach, career advisor, and business consultant. Why do I introduce myself that way? So that you know who I am, why I am here, why I am being present to you, what relevance it is to you and your needs. So if you are a leader that is looking to achieve success in your career and your business and have wider impact and even generational legacy, I am speaking to you. And what is my value add? I come to you, whether it is through the books that I've written or the lives that I host or programs, the coaching programs. I just came off a call with a client whose business I've been managing. For you to understand that I help you to get strategies, I help you to get the tools, the resources for you to excel in your career, in your business. I'm positioning people, which is why I will continue mentioning to you who I am to you, what I do for you. The day I stop doing that, the day you get sidetracked. And I'd like you to see how you can do the same. First exercise for today. Like I said, guys, every time I show up, somebody has something to write with. First exercise for today. I would like you, because yesterday, right? The previous video on how to build your personal brand. Guys, all of these videos, so I'm making references to videos. If this is the first time you come on, you're like, what? She's got a series? Like, where do I find them? Go to Purposeful Excellence channel on YouTube. I have an entire playlist, which now has 18 videos on becoming a powerful personal brand. That's how serious I am about you distinguishing yourself. So you can build, your personal brand. You're building or destroying it. That was yesterday's video. Go watch that so that you can follow the homework that I'm about to give you. We're starting out. I'm already giving you guys homework. So the first thing is this. Since you have already established your non-negotiable values, Modesta, I haven't done that. What is that? These are your principles. These are the standards by which you live your life. These are the boundaries that you create to say, this is what I will do and how I will do it. I will not cross this boundary. This is how I expect people to engage with me, and do not cross this boundary. And it could also include your moral codes, your moral standards, your work ethic, etc. I would like you to take a 24-hour value audit. Wow, Modesta, big words. What does that mean? I simply want you to look at your life in 24 hours. So maybe you're going to look at your average weekday and do an average weekend. And then consider from midnight 00:00 hours all the way to 11:59 that evening how you have invested every single hour. So you're going to note down the hours when you were sleeping. You're going to note down the hours when you were eating. You're going to note down the hours you were cleaning up. You're going to note down the hours with family. You're going to note down the hours on the TV. Don't act like you don't get on that too. You're going to note down the hours you're working. And then you will look at how you invest your life or spend it against your set non-negotiable values. Because this is the thing. You have coaches coming out here. You have mentors speaking to you. You have a lot of people claiming or maybe possibly being experts, giving you wisdom and tools and tips and resources. And then sometimes you just think this stuff doesn't work. I did do that program. I did go through that plan. I did that self-study. I read that book, but I'm just not seeing the returns. Why? When you go back to look at your day, you think, oh my goodness, I did a 24-hour audit and my day does not reflect my goals, does not reflect my vision, mission, does not reflect anything that I actually want to achieve in life. Well. Like I always say, the plan only works when you work the plan. So now, rather than waiting till later to find out what your life is really about, because do you know how you can just find out all by yourself about yourself? I would like you to do this 24-hour audit. You take stock of every single hour in your day and ask yourself, note down what it is that you do, and then compare it to your non-negotiable values. And I recommend that you have no more than five. I mean, I'm not sure how you can focus on more than five values. Put it next to your non-negotiable values, and then look at how much of what you are doing in your day actually aligns and promotes the achievements that you seek. Does what you spend your day doing align with what your non-negotiable values are? Does the time that you spend and the pursuits that you spend with the people and the things that you do, does that promote you, add value to you, and actually catapult you forward to what you want to achieve? Or does it take you away from it? Because it's one thing to have a dream, another to have, your vision and your mission and your goals and strategy, and everything just looks right. You're just such a great planner. And then on the implementation, your life doesn't reflect any of what you're aspiring for. Now, I said this about your life in general. You might even consider your job. So here you are employed at, organization XYZ, or you have your business ABC, and you're looking at what you as a person, because remember, I'm speaking to the leader. When you get to work with me, I might speak to the things that you do, but I'm speaking to you and your career and business success, but stemming from you and how you engage, stemming from your personal brand. You might look at what you do at your job. You might look at what you do in your business. And after you've audited it against your non-negotiable values, and you would see, wait a second, I am preoccupied with this, but it is not building my personal brand for my career. I, mostly engage in this business, but it is actually not building my personal brand as a business influencer, or, as a successful business person. So then, after having done that, after having looked at your typical weekday, your typical weekend day against your non-negotiable values, you then get to make these decisions. You have three options, my people. You either combine things that you are spending too much time to do. So you're combining one thing with another thing so that you can spend your time wisely, so you can invest time in things that actually align wisely, so you can invest time in things that actually align with your values, that actually will get you to fulfill your mission and your vision. So either combine or condense. Sometimes look, I'm guilty with this on social media. I'm not always posting content and being very resourceful, and no, sometimes I'm just scrolling through stuff. So I could condense the time that I am wasting, scrolling through stuff, and use that time to do things that will actually build what I want to present the powerful personal brand that I want to become, right? So you either combine things that can be done together. Sometimes I will do shopping and spending time with my kids. Sometimes it will be listening to an audiobook and doing the dishes, whatever it is. Work that there's somebody I need who's shadowing me, maybe I'm mentoring, and so I could bring them along to my meetings. So I get to be present in my meetings, and I get to have the teachable moment with my mentee or my coachee, and we can discuss as we're transitioning between, their experience of a day in my life as their mentor. Combine things or condense. We waste time, honestly, sometimes in things that we can do shorter. And right now, technology allows us to, automation allows us to, tools and resources and apps allow us to be more effective, more productive in what we do. Or you can just clear. So combine, condense, or clear. You're doing a 24-hour value audit. You're auditing your life against your non-negotiable values, against your goals, against your mission, against your vision. And where you see that actually daily, I do very little that will actually get me to ultimately accomplish my goals, my mission, my vision. Therefore, I need to change things up. I want you to consider these three C's. You're going to combine, you're going to condense, or you're going to clear. Completely clear away. There's certain things that you would find you engage in that have nothing to do with anything meaningful to you. Your values will guide you. If you find yourself uncomfortable, if you find yourself resentful, if you find yourself complaining, if you find yourself dreading, like literally dragging your feet to do something, dun, 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 alarm bells, indication that you are engaged in things that do not align with your values. If you find yourself fretful, if you find yourself, just looking for any way to get out of this thing, it's an indication that a value of yours is not being met, that you are living inauthentically, that you are engaged in things that are not aligned with where you want to go. Right? So consider that. That's the first thing. Then now I thought the quote that I sent today was just so amazing that nowadays it's really key for you to understand how to position your presence, your relevance, and your value add. You want to become a powerful personal brand, you would have to position your presence, your relevance, and your value add. And I break it down. What does that look like? So, number one, if we're talking about your presence, let's just start with visibility. Yesterday I asked this, or yesterday I was brutal, but I'm nicer today. I've had coffee today. Yesterday I asked you, if I were to ask people in your industry, or if I were to search for, your name online, would I find you? Would people say, yes, we know him, yes, we know her? If the answer is no, you're in trouble. People should be able to find you. If you say, I want to become a powerful personal brand, and personal branding is your intentional, ongoing brand, and personal branding is your intentional, ongoing process to create a specific image of yourself in the minds of others. And I say others is your specific target, right? Your target group that by gender, by age, by geographic position, how they spend, what the challenges are, what solutions they need, how they like to get the solution. Like you have really studied and targeted your audience. Because you're not speaking to everybody. There is your tribe. There's a specific audience you're speaking to. If you cannot be recalled, if your audience doesn't know you exist, if we search for you online, your name doesn't show up, that is a challenge. So the first thing is for you to position your personal brand. I just mentioned about how you need to align your life with your values and your goals and vision and mission so that you can focus on engaging yourself only in the things that align. My people, apart from when I'm watching TV, whatever, I am engaged mostly in things that align with my purpose, my values, my vision, my mission, my goals. You will not find me. Now, this Swahili phrase came to mind. Sichezi mbali naivo vitu. Like you will not find me messing around with anything that is not related to those things. Be purpose driven. I want to be effective. I actually want to create this image of who I want to be in the minds of those people that I'm called to. And so I have to make sure I'm protecting my day, I'm protecting my energy, I'm protecting my time. We'll actually talk about protecting your personal brand tomorrow. So that I am available, fully present to do the things that align with our personal brand. So if we search for your name, would we find you? If we ask people, your target audience, the very specific audience you want to target about you, would they even know you exist? If the answer is no, or, well, I don't know, then no. If you don't know, then no. You would then have to be deliberate about that. Don't wait to ask people who you are and ask people what they need and ask people if it's relevant. Please get on the front end of that and create a presence that is undeniable. So that is one. I would like you to now think through, you're taking notes, right? How can I create an online and offline presence such that my target audience, and guys, if you're thinking, what's your target audience? When you go to Purpose and Excellence channel on YouTube, I have on that playlist, Become a Powerful Personal Brand, a video about identifying your target audience. Please watch it, because there's a lot about even market segmentation, understanding the demographics, the psychographics, the behavior. So ask yourself, what is my online and offline presence? Ask yourself, what is my presence in my industry and networks? So in networks of professionals such as yourself, who are engaged in a career similar to yours, a business similar to yours, are you networking with your peers? Are you known by your target audience? So that those could be your clients or the businesses that are engaged in that industry. So you're going to do this homework and check out, how do I fare? Like, how do I appear? And what can I do then? Am I present? Am I visible in my organization, in my industry, in the networks of professionals and peers and organizations that are related to this area? And then after checking your presence, you also want to look at not just whether do I exist to them? That's a good one. Do I exist at all to the people and the organization and the industry that I seek to influence, to the target audience that I want to create a certain image or impression of myself to them? Do I exist to them? And then you're going to, look to see whether what exists aligns with who you want to be known for. What do you want to be known for? Who do you want to be known as? You're going to then check if people will say, yes, I know her. Yes, I know him. If you're checking, with your peers, yes, they recognize you. I'd like you to also check what do they know me for? Yeah, they know me, but what is my reputation? What is their estimation of who I am? Now, I know it's a nervous kind of thing to try to get feedback or to try to, suss out, right? Find out from people what they think. But it is really, really critical for you to do that, because then if it's positive, you can do more of that. But if your personal brand thus far is negative, or just people don't even know you exist, well, then you know where to start. You need to start with presence. You need to show that you are present. And you are present and associated with exactly what you want your personal brand to be associated with. Then number 2, are you relevant? Okay, so people say, yeah, we know him, we know her. We check you out online. Yes, you exist. That's great. Question then, are you present? Check. But are you relevant? Are you speaking? Are you engaged? Are you speaking? Are you engaging in? Are you excelling at the things that your very specific target audience thinks is relevant, thinks is a challenge to them, thinks that is a an area that needs to be addressed? Are you relevant? Do they see you as a person that understands the times you're in, understands, is using technology as we should? I mean, honestly, there's some things right now, this is 2020, people, like 2020. People expect, my 68-year-old mother is like, social media, online savvy. People expect, people to really engage with technology. Are you not only, and do you understand the times we're in? Are you using technology? Do you understand the trends that matter to them? I had a conversation. I work with people who then go and do the homework with their husbands. So I have entire spouses, wives and husbands that are not my clients. You're in the things that your target audience is interested in, not just because they're relevant to what you're doing with them, but it's because they're relevant to them. I read somewhere that, Google knows when you're hungry before you know when you're hungry. Why? Because they so profile their target audience. They can predict your next move. And of course, algorithms, they kind of see where we mostly, visit, what we're looking at. They can predict. You will find that you do a search on something and then you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, and all of a sudden the ads related to that area show up. Why? because they're watching you and they're looking to refine their service to you more to what you're interested in. My husband does a search online, it shows up on my profile because we're already connected as a couple. And so that relationship, ends up, it sends them messages that, hey, they're a couple, they're probably making decisions together. So if the husband is looking at this, get the wife, to also look at this. So it's important for you to show that you're relevant, because you understand, to show your target audience, you understand the times you're in, to understand the trends, the prevailing trends, and they're relevant to them. Therefore, they should be relevant to you, to understand technology and be able to use it to serve them well, and even have approaches that are really relevant to the times we're in. It could be the very same issues. Business is business, I guess. It's always been. Marketing is marketing. It's always been. But they're different approaches as time evolves, as research evolves, as things are getting more efficient. The world is getting smaller, and people are innovating all kinds of things, that you should understand prevailing approaches and should come up with something that really speaks to the reality of their lives right now. So as you're positioning, it's not just how well you understand yourself, it's also whether you are present and relevant to your very specific target audience, because you want everything about you. Now, I want to say this. Please never leave your values. Never leave who you are and what you stand for simply because you really want to influence your target audience. So you do not change yourself and become inauthentic and become superficial simply because, this is what my target audience wants. Yet at the same time, you cannot completely ignore what is important to them, what's relevant to them, what would add value to them, what they, the standards at which they would like things executed, the approach in which, you can reach them, simply because I am how I am and this is how I show up, so deal with it. So there's a balance to be, stricken, striked there. Then the third thing is, right, we checked presence, we checked relevance, value add. Are you seen as a person that adds value? Are you seen as an authority in your area? And where does this authority come from? It comes from, first of all, being very clear about your objectives when you're speaking to your target audience. Why am I engaging with people at all? Why do I want to become a powerful personal brand? Why am I positioning at all? Being very clear about your audience, and I keep on drumming about your target audience, because you're not talking to everybody. And if you try to talk to everybody, you will speak to nobody at all. Having clear messages. So what are you saying to people? Somebody connected with me 2 days ago on LinkedIn. He reposted something I put up. It says, I really like the fact that right now, with everything that is going on, you're staying positive and you're giving us the skills and the tools and the resources for us to excel. You're helping us move away from the panic and really look at what it is we can control and how we can position now in this struggle to come out stronger, after that. So what are the messages that you're sending out as well to your target audience? And then what's the call to action? Do you guys know there are times you're visible, you're relevant, you're everywhere, but you wonder why it's not translating to your bottom line changing. It's not translating to you personally getting engagements. It's not translating to your business growing, but you are everywhere. You're thinking, I have products wherever you can find me. I show up. Why isn't this translating to getting more engagement, more sales? Why isn't this not affecting the results that I seek? Because you have no call to action. You're visible, you're present, you're relevant, no question, but you're not asking people anything. You're not instructing them, directing them on what to do. So then they're not doing it. It doesn't come just naturally. It isn't self-explanatory. It isn't like, get it. Don't you get it? No, they don't get it. You have to say it. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to buy your product? Do you want me to subscribe to your channel? By the way, please subscribe to Purpose and Lex's, YouTube channel. Thank you. And please turn on notifications so that when I post videos that you get notified straight away. So you're not saying that I have a shop. That's nice. Do you mean to say, come to my store? Then say, come to my store. Do you want to say subscribe? Say subscribe. Do you want to say I have a sale and therefore, but you actually need to say these action words. You need to say them to your target audience. So sometimes we don't see the results because we're not asking anything. We're just present and we're relevant and we have nice, compelling things, but they're just there. So you want to make sure that you have really meaningful content that shows you're adding value, right? You're giving people solutions. Remember, solutions to either survive if they're in dire straits or to thrive. So you're putting out content, you're adding value. You should be adding a whole lot more value than you're asking for money from people, or adding a whole lot more value than you're asking for jobs. You should be so valuable in what you're putting out, and you're doing it consistently, you're doing it creatively, and it is so compelling. And of course, you have a call to action that people start looking for you. When you add value, you're sending the message, this person's an authority in this area. Every time I go to them, I'm learning. Every time I go to them, I have a solution for my business. Like, they seem to understand exactly what I need. The fact that they deliver at home, the fact that all their services are on the go, the fact that whatever it is that you're doing, because you understand, your audience so well, and you have these call to actions attached to your messages, they will come to you. They will seek you out. You won't even have to do so much work in trying to sell and trying to get people. So remember, for you to add value, think of your objective, your audience, your message, your call to action. And then think strategically, think 360, think the business. Don't just think about the job description. When you're going for an interview, you want to show that you understand the business and the industry. You want to show, with your business that even if the call for proposal is just for this element, you want to show that you understand what the entire project and the value chain of that entire thing is. You want to show that you understand the industry and the times we're in, and how what you're doing is relevant to that, and how the entire machinery is affected. You want to show that. That's when you add value. You don't add value by doing your thing. You don't add value by doing your job. Gosh, this just sounds so sad. But you don't. If you're just doing your job, if you're just giving a service, you're not adding value. Because of course, that's what, people expect you to do your job. Like, there's nobody claps for anybody who does their job. No, nobody even claps for anybody who does, a quality job. Doing a quality job is, of course, you do a quality job. What kind of job did you think you're going to do? Mediocre? So nobody gets excited when you do a quality job. You're expected to do a quality job. But people want to see over and above understanding, over and above strategic thinking, over and above solutions, over and above methods, over and above approaches. And so think about innovating. So first of all, you're going to send clear messages. You're going to give solutions. Think solutions, think solutions, think solutions. When people come to speak to you, they leave with solutions. They don't leave with gossip. When they come to you, they leave with solutions. They don't leave with complaints about management or complaints about the industry or the government or the economy. No, they know whenever they show up, they're getting solutions. Think of innovation. Think of the benefits of what you are about. So if I were to engage you as a person, if I were to employ you, what are the benefits you come with? If it is about your business, what benefits would they have? Will your target audience have engaging with you? And what are the kind of the features that you come with? So for instance, one of the things that I really put out there is everything I do is online. So you can listen to me on the go. You can engage me on the go. You could be on the can. I wouldn't even know if you're in the toilet and you're speaking to me, and you can get me online speaking to me, and you can get me online. And a lot of what I have, you can also get it remotely. So we don't need to constantly be having conversations like this. You can access my things remotely on demand. So these are some of the benefits of, actually, this is a feature for me, of engaging with me. So think about that. So I want to go back to these things. If you want to position your personal brand, first of all, go do a 24-hour value audit of your life. Does your life get an average weekday, average weekend? Does your life reflect your non-negotiable values? Does your life daily promote what it is that you're about? Does it help you advance your goals, mission, and vision? or is it taking away from? You're going to look at your 24 hours. You're going to have a serious conversation with the people in your family, a serious conversation with your colleagues, and you're going to say, look, I know this is our industry, but I've just noticed I'm spending a lot of time doing things that honestly I can delegate, doing things that I know that can be combined with other things, condensed, or that can be completely cleared off my agenda, which might mean you're investing in coaching other people, you're investing in really equipping other people so they can do the things that really don't require you, so that you can just focus on what is important for you to do. This is how you build expertise. This is how you distinguish your personal brand. That you are known for this very specific thing that you do, for these very specific people, and you are really good at it. Why? Because you hone your skills, because you really gain that experience daily in the things that you invested in. And then after you vetted your day and your time and your resources and really made sure that you have either combined, condensed, or cleared off completely the things that don't align with your values, your goals, your vision, your mission, you're going to check on your presence. Do people know I exist? If you search my name online, do I show up? Do people in my industry, my peers, know that I exist? Do the employers that I seek, my target audience, do they know I exist? If yes, what do they know me for? Then, there could be some tweaking there, either major overhaul or just slight tweaking, so that for those people you seek to influence, for those people you seek to see you in a certain way, which you have defined for yourself. Watch yesterday's videos. You can watch your personal brand, how to identify it, and then how to build it on Purposeful Excellence YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about how to position it, right? So you can check, do those people that I seek to influence see me the way that I want to be seen by them? Because your relevance. Would people say that I am a person that understands the times, the trends, the technology, the approaches in this area? And so they see you as the go-to authority, a person that they can relate with. And so relatability is also a big issue, guys. A person that they can find an authority, ability as an expert in this area, whether you're looking for, engagement as in your career, or you're really looking to position your business in your industry or expanding. And then value add. Not only am I present, check, and I'm known for my field, good, and I am relevant, nice, but that I actually add value, that I think 360. I think of the business all bureaucratic and, going around things. I'm not a person who complains about things. I'm not a person who's just whiling away the time until it's time to go or waiting for the end of the month. But I'm a person that adds value over and above the ask, because that's what matters right now. Nobody pays you to do your job. Nobody is happy with you just because you've done a qualitative job either. It should be something that is over and above. You need to aim to wow with your personal brand. Make sure that you put out content. Sometimes we show up and we're dancing and we're doing things and, we're showing off and we're posing, whatever. That's nice. Your pictures look good. You have a nice followership. That's good. But content. When all is said and done, will people just admire you? Because that's not what personal branding that I'm talking about is about. It's really understanding what God has put in you and choosing how you want to position it to the people you're called to. Because it's one thing, I can hear my kids making noise. Oh, my word. It's one thing for you to be present and relevant and to have something of value. And it's another thing for your target audience to see you as a person that they can trust to do business with, to see you as a person that they can trust to engage in their organizations. So you could be, you reflected, you prepared, and you're all ready to go, but nobody's taking you up and you're wondering what's going on. They don't see you as an authority. They don't see you as being a person that adds value. You're just there and you're nice and you're doing the average thing everybody else does. And therefore, if your target audience, not everybody, we're not caring about what everybody thinks, our target audience. If your target audience doesn't see you as a person that adds value, then you're done for. Then what was all that personal branding for? Then you'll get the average things, your career, the average things, your business, but you're not going to take off because they don't see you as, a top-notch person that they would like to engage with. And that's the whole point of personal branding, is to stand out from the crowd, is to say, I'm not like everybody. This is no cookie cutter experience here. You come to me, you engage with me, and you will just be floored as to, the level of execution, as to the solutions that I will bring. So constantly think of, how am I innovating? So this Swahili word came up, jiongeze. Guys, I think in several languages, like all the time. How am I innovating? How am I adding value? You know, how am I bringing in a new approach that may not be found in the market? One of my other clients just looked for me today. So she did the master plan class, and then she's doing Vision Activator. It's a post master plan class program. And she said, Modesta, you were talking to us about the times we're in. And I said, how's that? She said, you were telling us to think of a time when we may not be able to physically go to work, yet still be in a position to earn. I said, yeah, you're right. I did mention that, right? Like this part of my programs. Not to diversify your income streams, to diversify your skills, and and it's not just in case something bad happens to you, but simply because you want to be freed up to do other things as well. So come up with innovations, come up with solutions for your target audience who you have studied, their demographics, their psychographics, their behavior attributes, and the geographic, distinguishing markers, so that you can really come up with solutions and you can come up with innovations and approaches that truly, truly add value to their lives, that they say, nobody is doing this. I mean, how do you know me so well? I listen to you and I wonder if you have a candid camera somewhere in my home. Like, how is it that you truly the things that, when you say this, the things that you're going through, the challenges you're facing, and possibly the fact that you're very busy, you have only a little time, you would rather learn and grow on the go, and so therefore I'm coming with that solution. And then of course you listen. So it's important to do research before you start anything and assume anything about your target audience. Do the research so you find out, and then later get feedback as you go, so that you can tweak and improve as you go. I want to end with this. You guys may have noticed that I would, there are times I would propose something, and I just want to be transparent with you guys. You guys know I'm like this, right? So I will come up with a product, I'll come up with a service, I'll come up with a call, I'll come up with a campaign. There's no traction, people not interested. I do not quit my, what I'm doing. I do not feel bad. I don't get sad. I don't whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that doesn't work. And then I will look at, so what didn't work about that? Was it the amount that I was asking about? Was it the service? It really wasn't relevant for the time. Like right now, whatever it is you're doing, stop throwing out the same things you're doing. Talk about needs-based. Guys, I haven't spoken about the master plan class in a while, and I constantly had, ads for the master plan class, right? I'm bringing it up because it's starting again next month. But right now, people needed to feel secure about their job. So I had an entire week of lives on career. Right now, people want to understand how to distinguish themselves, because with millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people being unemployed, people want to know, then if there's so many of us, we're in the millions, who will ever see me? How can I distinguish me? Right now, people want to know how to save their businesses. So the entire week, next week, I'm talking to people's businesses. This is what I'm focusing on right now. And then I'll tell you about the master plan class if that's something that you're interested in. But you have to find an angle that really speaks to the people at the time. So doing the research before and constantly seeking feedback, that others are not just everybody or anybody. There's a very specific target audience you're called to serve, and you must understand them so very well. And you Google market segmentation and understand how to understand your market according to the different, segmentation. And I want you to also get this, that it's your personal brand stems from your values, stems from your purpose. If you're not clear about your purpose, please don't get wound up. Put your non-negotiable values, set them first, and then think of the vision. When I have successfully served the people that I'm called to serve, what will life look like for them? How will it be better for them because I showed up? Not because people like me show up, not because generally in this industry, coaches and consultants show up. No. I show up because I'm building my personal brand. And then think of the mission. So how do I want to approach them? And when you're thinking of the mission, not only are you considering your values and your preferences, you're also considering your target audience and what they value and what they need right now, how they want to be approached, how they think, what their lives are like, what income they earn, and therefore what is disposable for, the kinds of things you're asking them for. You have to think about all of that as you position, and then make sure that you remain relevant, you remain present, you remain relevant, and adding value each time you show up, so that it leaves no doubt to them. When it comes to this area, I'm going with that person. I'm going with him. I'm going with her. I'm going with their business. As a matter of fact, anything they ever bring to me, I will go with it because I know them. They've proven themselves. All right, my people. I almost said my loves. You, my loves. Yes, you are also my loves. Guys, I pray that this is working for you. This is speaking to you. If you're listening to me and you can see some areas, maybe you were stuck or why things weren't moving, I put money to those ads. Like I did, I invested a lot of money in creating that product. Why aren't things happening? I'm sending my CV so many places. I've even asked people who work in this organization to speak to me. Why aren't things happening? It's your personal brand. I mean, it's not only about your personal brand, but start working on that. Start distinguishing yourself so that just by at the mention of your name, doors open. Just at the mention of your name, people are like, no doubt, no question, this is a person for the job. We'll add other people, we'll include them, because we need to vet and we need to be objective. But this definitely has to be a person we're considering for sure. In this area, this is a person we're speaking to. This is relevant in career, in business, in ministries, in nonprofits, in everything. It could be a social group, politics, whatever it is. It's relevant. Building your personal brand so that you create a specific image and impression of yourself in the minds of those that you really want to influence, that's relevant everywhere. And I want you to start really thinking through these things as you go out there before you just show up to people. Really think through, who am I, where am I going, on what standards do I ground my life? Who am I serving? What are their needs? How am I uniquely created, uniquely positioned, uniquely skilled and experienced to serve them? And then what exactly in my offers and my packages, what exactly am I putting out to them? Do they know I am here? Do they see me as relevant? Can they see that I add value? And then we will learn also, how then do I package myself so that they can access me and engage with me and be so wowed at what they get that they tell other people, and my personal brand keeps growing. Because remember, your personal brand is what other people say about you. It's not what you say about yourself. So not only do you have to show up, you need to consistently deliver at a certain level. You need to consistently uphold certain values for people then to have that impression of you and to pass the word to others that, hey, if you're looking for people in this area, this is a person to go with. Or they could say, hey, if you're looking for people in this area, do not touch this person. They will not be the person to go with. You do not want that. So go plan your personal brand. Go get the feedback that you need. Create things that you want and then be consistent in your delivery. Have compelling messages. Be creative in the way that you're communicating and you're serving other people. Be consistently visible, consistently adding value, and no matter what your personal brand was not before, you will start building that reputation and that personal brand moving forward. And in no time, your name will always come up in the areas that you're being considered, because when it comes to your target audience, they will know you very well. They will see you as relevant and a most value-added person. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we catch up tomorrow. We continue with the series on personal branding. So please share this with your people far and wide. Hi, Pam. Thank you. Bombi, thank you. Hassan, Kelvin, Clive. Hey, Clive. King, Mwangasa, Philip, God Living. Thank you so much for coming in on the feed. And I'll see you at 8 p.m. East African time, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern time. Please do, if you haven't already, subscribe to Purpose and Excellence YouTube channel, because I won't always be doing lives, but I do create a lot of videos and content that I put out there. And share this with other people that you know would definitely benefit as they're looking to move their careers, their businesses, their ministries, their nonprofits, to their target audience. All right. Have a wonderful one. Bye. Let me get this out here.